Hey guys, it's Yummy. Welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to do my February tentative TBR, and I say tentative because I am a mood reader, so I will pick up and drop books as I please depending on what my mood is. So I don't want to sit here and tell myself that I strictly have to adhere to anything that I want to read, but I do want to give you an idea of what I want to read. Also, I want to join Blackathon under the SFF team, the Sci-Fi and Fantasy team. So I do have books picked out from there. All the books that I have for that category, I got specifically from Starla Reed's recommendation video. So I will tag her video underneath, and I will also make sure to put Jesse's from Bow Ties and Books video so that you can see the announcement for Blackathon. So basically, I wanted to start with books that I am going to read because I'm currently in the middle of them now. Not this one. This one's part of Blackathon. But this one here is a poetry book. This is Flowers on the Moon. This is from Courtney. Thank you. And currently I'm reading it because I guess I want to be emotional and I want to cry, or I want to feel enlightened, or I just want to feel empowered. And when I first got this book, I read the first line. I don't know how to read it to you. And like, just based on where I was emotionally, I knew I wanted to read this book, but I wasn't sure I was ready for it. But it basically says, "Dear self, I choose you and only you. I'm sorry it took so long." And like, just where I was at that moment, I needed this book, but only when I was ready for it. So I'm reading it now. I do have some tabbed here. This is basically just which ones were my favorite, and then if I had something to say about it. So that's what I do. I don't normally tab my books, but I figured this one was really good, so I wanted to go ahead and do that. So the Poppy War is about this girl, Rin, who comes from this one part of an empire, and she was poor and a war orphan, and her option while she was with her basically foster parents was to marry an older man so that she can have what they would call a better life, but she didn't like that option. So what she did, she studied really hard for this test to get into this military school that was free for her, and she aced it. They definitely questioned how this poor girl could do it, but that was her only option to her was ace this and get into the school, or go and marry this older man. And basically, while she's at the school, she finds out that she has this power, like of the shamans, which is illegal in that empire, but she's exploring it. I'm enjoying the book. The problem is, like I said, I'm a mood reader. So when I'm in the mood for it, I will get through the pages like it's nothing. But then I get out of the mood for it quickly, so I stop. So right now I'm about 1/3 of the way through. It's really good, just not in the mood. But I enjoy it. It's just a problem I have. So the next books I have are all going to be part of Blackathon. I do just have to fair warn you, I'm using my laptop here because I need to read the prompt. Also, I went on Starla's video and watched it and just said, "Oh wow, she really talks about this really nicely. I want to read that one." I don't know why I picked them, but I like the way she said it. So I picked my books based off of that. So I do also have to read the synopsis for them off of my computer based off she was just hype and I wanted to read the same things. But the first one, like I said, this is Blackathon, so it's basically all books from Black authors about Black characters. And I am down to read them. So I decided I want to be in Team SFF, Sci-Fi and Fantasy, because those are the books that are calling out to me lately. So we're going to go with the first book I want to read is The Lesson by Cadwell Turnbull. And that is the group book, like I said. When I look up the synopsis, it just says, a year after the death of a young boy at the hands of an Inya, 3 families find themselves at the center of the inevitable conflict, witnesses and victims to events that will touch everyone and teach a terrible lesson. Yeah. I don't know. It's the group one, so that's what I'm picking. Then the next thing is there are 3 prompts, and so they're all named after authors. And basically, the way that Starla explained it is if you just go, it was either Starla or Jesse, but if you go off of the prompts and go from that author, then you'll be able to find a book from the author that goes with this one. So the first prompt is Rita Woods, which says a character that traverses the spirit realm or heavily embodies Black spirituality or spiritualism. And for this, Starla chose Who Fears Death. And so I'm going to read that. And basically it says Who Fears Death is based in is post-apocalyptic Africa. There's this girl that was born who is a rape child and basically not accepted in any of the communities that they're in. But Anya, Anya has special powers. And so this is what we're going to find out. But Anya's name is Anya Sanmu. And if I'm not pronouncing this correctly, I'm so sorry. But basically, her name means Who Fears Death. So that's that book. I'm going to read it for that category. The next category is Tade Thompson, which is a Black protagonist encounters an alien civilization or alien technology. So for that, I'm reading a book by Tade Thompson, which is Rosewater, and it says it's set in the near future of Nigeria, 2066, and it introduces Carol, who is a fraud cyber investigator and government agent, and the town of Rosewater, which is built around an alien biodome. And once a year, the biodome opens and heals the people around it. That's all I know. Like I said, Starla was really excited about all these books, so I went ahead and chose based off of the recommendations. If you want more, Starla also has like 3 or 4 books chosen for each category recommended. I'd suggest you'd also watch Starla's video so that you can get more categories or more books from each category. And then the last category is Octavia Butler. Time travel is a major component of the story. And so for this, I chose from Starla's recommendations, The Opposite of Always, which is basically the story about this guy and a girl, and they like fall in love, but the girl dies, and then the guy has to sit here and relive the same day over and over trying to save her. I don't remember the characters' names. This is just a synopsis I remember about that story. So that concludes my February tentative TBR. Maybe I'll read them, maybe I'll not. I won't. The only things I can tell you for sure that I want to stick to is Blackathon. So I will most likely try to read all 4 of those books, which I don't think is a bad thing. 1 book a week. It could be done. So we'll see. Otherwise, my next video planned should be my January wrap up, and I will most likely get that out within a week. But I hope you stick around. Let me know if you have any ideas for any other books you want to read, or books I should read, or anything that you want to discuss, because I'm a big nerd and sometimes I just want someone to talk to about these books. Oh, let me know. Like I said, see you next time. But for now, like, subscribe, comment. I'd really appreciate that.